Hi guys, so today's video I'm going to show you what I feed my 5 horses. I will just say beforehand, this is just what I feed. All my horses have very specific diets, and I'd recommend doing your research before you decide what to feed your horses. Speak to a nutritionist, speak to sort of a horse dietitian type person, and most brands will come out and sort of give you a nutrition consultation, so I'd recommend that for your own horses. Don't just sort of copy what other people do, but yeah, so I'll show you what I feed my 5. So I'm going to talk you through some of the supplements that my horses have. So the first one that most of them have, I think maybe nearly all of them, is Magic. So this stuff is magnesium and a few herbs. What it does is, magnesium is like a calmer for horses, so it calms them down. All of mine are live wires. Charlie's not on it for that, he's on it for the pre and probiotic that are in it. So that helps settle their gut, and it's got natural vitamin B in as well. It just helps settle their stomach and gives you a nice calm horse with good gut flow. So that's why we use Magic. So next we have garlic powder. So you can use granules or powder. Mine tend to eat powder better. Some horses don't like garlic. Caramel isn't keen. But this is a beneficial aid with dust and allergies, helps circulation, I wonder if it says anything else, sweet itch, respiratory conditions. It's just sort of one of them things that you just pop in. Most people I think use garlic, you can even use crushed garlic. It's just nice and sort of aids different things, but that's why we use it. Okay, so next we have Quarterflax. So this is for their joints, and this is the best joint one I've ever used. We use it with Danny and Taffy because they're older. Caramel doesn't have it, but Lucy does because she injured her knee when she was younger, and Charlie has it because we found out from his previous owner, not the one I bought it from, but his first owner, that he apparently had something wrong with his back legs, and they thought it was early onset arthritis. So this is why he has Quarterflax, which has really helped him actually. Next we have our Gastriaid. So this has got like your sodium carbonates, your bicarbonates, things like that in it. This helps with their gut. Again, Danny has this because he's quite a stressful horse, and he just sort of needs that bit of aid to sort of help his digestion. But this is the one that we use. We have used different ones in the past, but this one's quite good. So next we have Charlie's Turmeric. So this is from a root. It's actually just like a plant, is turmeric, and that's all it is. It's just a crushed up root. You can get it in sort of liquid form and stuff, but the powder I think works out cheaper, and it's easier to give. So turmeric is a really weird colour and it stains really badly, and Charlie gets like a little yellow moustache. I don't really like it, but this we use Charlie. People use it as a gastric aid, but we use it because apparently it's meant to repel mites and things like that. It's also meant to repel like flies and things once it gets in their bloodstream. But we've used it for Charlie for mites because obviously he has feathers, and he quite likes it, so we sort of just keep it in there for him. So Taffy has Ventipulmin. Now this is not something you can just pick up off the shelf. It's actually a licensed medicine, I think, or at least one that you need vet prescription for. So this is for Taffy's respiratory. He has a really bad respiratory. He's actually on a lower dosage of this than he used to be. Now he's living out all the time and not really being exercised because that didn't really help with him. So I think clenbuterol is what's in this. Yeah, clenbuterol hydrochloride. So it basically just helps open up its airways, and he's done really, really well on this stuff. Danny's folic acid tablets. I don't actually know why he's on folic acid. It might be for his stomach, I'm guessing, in his gut, but I'll ask my mum why he's on these, but she's right at the minute so I can't. I just know that I give him them. But Danny is predominantly my mum's horse, so she sort of deals with Danny, and I just, when I do the horses, because my mum sort of take it in turns. She'll just tell me if there's anything new that I need to do, and one of the new things was giving folic acid tablets. So yeah, that's what Dan's got. As for the feeds that we feed 2 main feeds, which is Healthy Tom. And the reason we feed Healthy Tom is because, again, we have stressy horses, it helps their gastric aid, it's a bit more sensitive on the stomach, whereas Charlie gets molly chaff, which again is just something that I've always fed him on, and it's just his bulk feed. Then we give them pony nuts, so our pony nuts just help bulk out their feed a little bit. So Caramel, because she's only little, she just gets a tiny handful of chaff, and then she also gets a bit of garlic powder. She also gets a tiny handful of nuts. They're just pony nuts, and that is Caramel done. So Charlie gets a handful of molly chaff. He also gets a 3/4 scoop of Magic by NAF. He gets a scoop of Quarterflex, and a scoop of turmeric. And then I'm just giving a little bit more on top so I can mix it in. For Danny, he has a big handful of Healthy Tom, and then a big handful of his nuts, so Danny also actually has folic acid tablets, and he has 4 of these. And so all I do with these is just crush them between 2 spoons. Into a fine powder. Feed. Danny's other supplements that he has are gastric aid. So he gets 1 scoop of gastric aid, Magic, one scoop of Magic, and Quarterflex. And 1 scoop of Quarterflex. And that's Danny's done. Taffy gets a small handful of healthy tom, a small handful of nuts. He also gets his cornflakes, and his Vent Pullman. And the others get everyone gets garlic, so I've sort of forgot to include that. Last but not least, we have Lucy. She gets quite a biggish handful of healthy tom, and then her nuts. She then gets her cornflakes, and her magic. Finally, a bit of garlic powder. So we make our feeds on a morning and just leave them for night, but we add the water generally on a night. But Taffy and Danny, because they're getting on now, they have theirs wet in the morning so that all the coney nuts etc. soften, so it's easier for them to eat later.